All right, it's March the 25th, the year 2017, and I wanted to quickly document an indirect interaction with Bill Fulton. Got an email from Jacob, and for all I know, Jacob is a very good guy. I have no, I've never communicated with him that I know of, but anyway, Jacob sends me an email and says, "This is the second email I sent you after the email from March the 12th. You know, Jacob, I went and looked back in my email box, and I can't find any previous emails from you, so I don't know if it got lost or what. But I don't have the first email, so this is the first email for me." Jacob goes on to write, "I had someone under the name of William Fulton at Drop Zone Bill Fulton send me messages on Twitter after I linked to some YouTube videos concerning Schaeffer Cox. He writes that this was disproven in court. Are you guys dense or just so involved you can't accept facts? It's scary that most of you are Second Amendment supporters too. A cropped screenshot is attached. I don't know who you guys would be since I am not working with anybody here. Any thoughts, Jacob?" So, Jacob, I appreciate you asking me my thoughts. I would love to share with you my thoughts. So I did put out this video, Paid Government Snitch Bill Fulton Threatens to Slit Schaeffer Cox's Throat. This appears to be a screenshot of Drop Zone Bill and his response saying it was disproven in court. Then he promotes his stupid book that he can't even write himself. He's getting Jeannie Devon up in New York to write it for him. In court, I think Bill Fulton was described as fat, drunk, and extremely violent. I would also add the adjective of extremely stupid. I mean, he's just absolutely a buffoon. He's not a good informant at all. There's nothing that he did that contributed anything. He doesn't. An informant collects information and provides it to the government, right? That's what an informant does. But Bill Fulton provokes crimes when there is no crime. Bill Fulton held a knife to Les Zerby's throat, and Les Zerby told me, because I've spoken to Les Zerby and I hope to speak to him some more. Les Zerby said Bill Fulton was just a few seconds short of finding out what it's like to bring a knife to a gunfight. But in any event, Bill Fulton, when you say that he's ratting out his fellow Americans, ratting out implies that somebody did something wrong to rat out. I mean, let's say that you have a brother or a cousin and you rat out that to grandma that they stole a cookie from a cookie jar. Well, it implies that they stole the cookie and therefore you ratted them out. But so Bill Fulton's not ratting out anybody because there's nothing to rat out. What Bill Fulton does is much, much worse. He actually sets up and provokes crime. He's an agent provocateur, and he will provoke a crime when there is no crime. And that's why he had to ask Les Zerby what's the plan, because Les Zerby just said there is no plan, and that ruined the government's narrative when Les Zerby said that. And so Bill Fulton had to pull a violent act on Les Zerby. But anyway, Bill Fulton will get what's coming to him. The Lord Jesus Christ sees every wicked deed that he's done, every lie that he's told, and it's absolutely horrific how this man has a black heart and separated Schaeffer Cox from his children and caused him to go to prison for 26 years by lying and provoking and threatening Schaeffer Cox's life. So this is my response back to Jacob, because Jacob is the one who sent me the email of Bill Fulton's Twitter. So I reply back to Jacob and say, this is the first email that I can find from your email address. If you sent a prior email, you might want to resend it. Keep in mind, this is me replying back to Jacob. In regards to Mr. Fulton's response about this video being disproven in court, have you seen the two videos below? Ask yourself if that is Bill Fulton's voice in the video. Did Mr. Fulton say those things or not? Mr. Fulton's response is no response at all, as is typical of this man. Anyone who has studied the case knows that Mr. Cox did not receive a fair trial. I have attached additional documents if you care to dig deeper into the Cox case. Regards, Rudy. Now, the documents that I attached, I can send to anybody. If you want to send me an email, my email is right here. I'll put it right here, rudddavis@yahoo.com. You send me an email to that email address, and I will send you the documents. And they are basically the 66-page timeline written by a gentleman who goes by the name of Mark. Also, I have Schaeffer Cox's minor corrections to that document. And then I also have a Motion 60B. All of this covers the timeline of events and Schaeffer Cox's innocence and the prosecutorial misconduct, the FBI misconduct, the Department of Justice misconduct, the informant misconduct, the media misconduct, the Chad Joy whistleblower report, and how Joseph Bottini fired Chad Joy. And it explains everything. Everything you want to know. All you got to do is take the time to read the documents. And you say, well, I don't have an hour or 2 hours to read those documents. Well, you may not have an hour or 2 hours, but there's an innocent man named Schaeffer Cox who's spending 26 years in prison because nobody's taken the time to understand what really went on. So there's another book, if you really want to dig really, really deep, and how this problem is actually prevalent all throughout America. There's a book called The Terror Factory, written by Trevor Aronson. It'll blow your doors off on how evil this government is. All right, now, Jacob, when I send you this email back with all those documents, I get this from you. And it basically says that I have to click on some link to confirm my email, and I'm always very hesitant about doing anything like that because of scams and phishing scams and fraudulent scams. I don't know if this is from you, Jacob, or if this is from the government trying to set me up, but this email comes back from your email address when I try to send you an email. And if you look at this, it says IT alert fraudulent phishing email. It looks very close to the email that I get back from you, right? And so I'm kind of concerned that there's something going on that's preventing me from replying back to Jacob. So anyway, we're not going to let this Bill Fulton guy get away with it. We're going to expose him and the lies that he's telling. We're going to expose government informants who send innocent men to prison. And actually, they need to be held accountable, and they need to spend 4 times what they caused. So I figure 4 times 26, that's 104 years. Bill Fulton, you need to spend 104 years in maximum security lockdown in a CMU prison. That's what I think needs to happen to Bill Fulton. God bless every one of you. Take care.